Next I'm going to go with the basil. I'm not really chopping this up. I'm not really worried too much about the stems. This is just as is. It's a little bit too much. Alright, so that's looking good. Spread that out a bit more. Alright, so that's looking pretty heavy. That's looking like a very, very busy pizza, but that's okay, that's how I like it. So try and spread the ingredients out a little bit more. Okay, cool. So now I don't know how I'm going to do this because I don't have a squirty bottle for this one. So this is going to be a little bit messy, I would imagine. But this is the main bit as far as I'm concerned. So I'm just going to drizzle that on wherever I can, however I can. And as long as it's even, that's the main thing. I am going quite a lot of this. This is probably the main flavour that I'm after with this. This way, this is the main sauce that I'm going. The other sauces are just sort of to add to the base of it, keep it moist as well. I don't want it to dry out too much. And yeah, hopefully the chili that I put in, hopefully that makes a difference. So I'm going to put all of this on. I'm not holding back with this pizza. I want this to be one decent pizza. Alright, so that's all of the ingredients. I do believe that will be enough. I was thinking about putting a few other things in here, but honestly, you can see this is a lot already. This is a massive pizza. It's very heavy. I mean, this, it's like a couple of inches thick. I think this will be enough. So anyway, I'm going to heat up the camp oven, and we'll go from there. So stick around. So I'm just heating up the camping oven now, and as I mentioned, my concern is that I can't really open the door at the moment because of the stealth side of things. So I'm going to have to maybe turn the lights off every now and then, and maybe just open the door to make sure there's no gases. I don't want any issues in here health-wise. So it's not ideal, but I'll just have to do the best I can. It's just one of those things. So once that's heated up, I'll put that pizza in there and I'll show you that. So I think we're looking good. I think that's going to do the job very nicely. So I'm not really sure how long this is going to take, but last time when I heated up the pie, that was about 25 minutes on a very low temperature. I'm probably going to turn this down again to as low as I can. And just let this thing chill out for maybe about 20 minutes. But yeah, I'll see, and you can see back very soon and see how it turned out. It seems to be coming along quite nicely. So that's about 10 minutes. So I would say at least another 10 minutes. Well, that looks absolutely incredible. You can see this is the train station here. And this is the buses on the outside. We've got a bit of a bus station on the outside. One thing I'm a little bit nervous about is actually, I was thinking about this before, is I don't know from a safety point of view if there's any chance of, someone trying to break into my van. Something I don't really think about. So I tell you what, that's looking pretty good. I did have a little bit of an issue with the sauce melting off while it was cooking, and it was going into the bottom of the pot, and it was smoking the van up a little bit. And I think that might have something to do with the chili that was in the peri peri sauce. I think that was what was actually smoking. Otherwise, I mean, this has been a pretty good success. I mean, I didn't even know you could use these camping ovens in this way for this kind of food. So overall, I think this has turned out pretty good. So here's the piece here. As you can see, it's cooked all the way through. It's crispy on the bottom. It's still a little bit moist, like I said. I think that's okay though. So I'm going to give it a try, and hopefully things are good. So here we go. That is good. Honestly, that is really good. Oh, I'm really happy with that. Yeah, that's really good. Wow. Actually, I don't think I'll change it. I think that's how I'd make it next time. That's really good. So, anyway, stick around for tomorrow to find out how we go with the stealth camping. Hopefully nobody knocks on the door tomorrow. I'm going to absolutely crap my pants if somebody knocks on the door, because, yeah, we're may not meant to be in this area. I'm not really sure. But so far so good. So yeah, anyway, see you tomorrow. Good morning, good morning. Wow, it's freezing cold morning here in Sydney. I'm going to say that was a success. That was good overall. I had a pretty decent sleep. I did wake up a few times to noises and kind of loud bangs, probably from the train station. Got me nervous, like someone was trying to break into the van or something like that. It was kind of on my mind the whole night. Didn't help that I was already thinking about that before I went to bed. But I haven't had anybody knock on the door. It's 9 o'clock now, or 9:30 now, so I've got about an hour left before I need to move the van. Overall, I'm going to say good experience. The pizza last night was just incredible. Honestly, like that was just amazing. I ended up eating half of it because I couldn't stop and I had to force myself. But yeah, that was definitely, I'll definitely make that again. So I need to move the van, so I'm going to go and do that now. I'll show you outside and see how things look now and during the day. And did get down, I can hear people walking past outside now, but there was a stage last night where there were no other vehicles at all outside, and that was a little bit of a weird feeling, knowing that I'm the only car. If someone was going to target me, it would be quite easy to target me. The safety in numbers, as they say, as the animal kingdom. Look around you. Like, this is how things work, right? So when you're the only van there, like you're a sitting duck. So that was a bit of a weird feeling, but I'm pretty sure now the cars will all be back, because this is where they park to go to the train. And so yeah, I'm pretty sure it'll be easy to get out of the van, hopefully, but we'll see soon. So I'll get ready and I'll head out, and I'll need to move the van. So I'd say overall this has been pretty good experience, good success. And I mean, the way I think about it, is the houses in this area. There's no houses on the street, but if they're in this area, though, houses are $2 million. So I'm in my van, which cost me a fraction of that. And I don't know, I'm not paying anything really to be here, but I can be in the same area. Obviously, I'm not in a full house, but I'm still sleeping comfortably. And people are paying millions of dollars to be here. I kind of think about that, So I don't know, maybe that's stupid, but just something I think about. People pay millions of dollars. I paid a few $1,000s and I'm here. So, anyway, I'm going to move the van and I'll talk to you soon, okay? Alright, time to get going. So, yep, everything's good. I've had a bit of a chance to clean the van up a little bit and just get a few things done. But now it's time to pop outside and have a look. I can hear somebody parking next door, so I'll just wait. Parking or leaving, I'm not sure. But I'll get this light off here for now. And then I'll get this light off. Not sure if they have left yet, but okay. So, as I suspected, all of the cars around have come back. So everything's looking okay. No issues as far as I can see. No damage. Van's looking in good shape. There's no bits of paper hanging off the front of my van now, which is good. So, alright, yeah, time to move. I've just gotten back from having my coffee, and I want to say that overall I think this has been a really interesting experience. It's not the same feeling that I have when I'm just sleeping somewhere really comfortable. You know, when I find a spot where I don't have to worry, I know that I'm safe and all that kind of stuff. But, you know, I've been thinking about this idea for a while of like, could you find somewhere that you could kind of just leave the van and then do your shopping during the day, use the bathroom, stuff like that, and then just kind of come back to the van? Kind of, I guess, similar to kind of how homeless people do it, except you're living in relative luxury compared to that. I don't know, I've been thinking about this for a while, you know. It's like, how could you do this where you've got all the things that you need, you've got a relative amount of comfortability, but you're also not really moving around too much, so you're not really using petrol. Honestly, I really think that if you used your brain, and if money was an issue, I don't see why you couldn't find a way to do this really, really cheaply. And I mean a few $100s a month, something like that. If you were really on a tight budget, you could definitely do this. You find somewhere you could leave your van, as long as you're not making any problems, as long as you're not being too loud. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not giving you advice because I don't want to tell you to do something and then, you know, you get in trouble. But I'm just saying I'm sure there are ways. When I hear about people living on the streets and I hear about people that can't get a home, all this kind of stuff, I just think, you know what, I'm sure there are ways. You know, at the end of the day, if the housing market is out of control and getting a mortgage is impossible, the average house is now getting up around $1 million in Australia anyway. And then, you know, you don't qualify for, you know, rental, like a rental property, because, you know, your income isn't quite enough and everybody's looking for a rental because they can't afford a mortgage. It's a really hard spot to be for the average person. So the way that I see it is, what options do you have left? You know? And then you got some of these councils and government regulations that are not really a big fan of some of the people that want to live in their vehicle. I know people that are living in just normal cars, like a normal sedan, you know, a normal hatchback, just a normal car. And it's like, I feel really sorry for them because that's kind of nearly rock bottom. Not quite, but nearly there. You know what I mean? Whereas I feel like what I'm doing, I've got my PlayStation, I've got all the power I need, I've got all the food I need. I mean, I'm not poor, I have money, and I'm doing this because I choose to, you know, learn about this experience and see how it works, see how it feels, you know. But stealth camping, man, I want to tell you right now, like, yeah, it's a little bit nerve-wracking, but if you do it properly, I'm sure there are ways where you can do this and actually have a pretty decent existence, honestly. Yeah, showering is a bit of a problem. Bathroom is a bit of a problem. If you're a dude, it's not so bad. You can use a tree. In Australia, even doing that's illegal. Everything's illegal here. You get in trouble for looking at someone the wrong way these days, honest to God. So, I don't know. All I want to say is don't give up. There are definitely options. And, you know, nothing's as scary as you think it is. Just give something a go. And I'm sure you can find a way to live a very enjoyable life on a budget. So, I've proven that you can do it. I'll be doing an update on my monthly expenditure because I have actually been able to keep it under $1,000. I'll talk about that a little bit later in another video. So anyway, this has been a great success. I'll see you in the next one.